Hey, it worked.
Yeah. All right.
It's better work.
Get the hang
right?
of it. You were doing your finger exercises to
That's
press
it.
those
That's it.
buttons.
The buttons.
That's it, baby. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome. Lola's with us live.
Time I hear the name Lola,
Awesome.
for some reason I think of the Copacabana. I don't know why. It has nothing to do with it, but at the
It's okay.
Lola, Lola.
Oh my God! Don't please stop.
We'll get taken down just because I have bad singing.
Well,
I'm glad you can see
welcome
Lola. I
everyone
can't
to the
see her.
show. Welcome to the show. IFB Interfleet Broadcasting news and entertainment with a Battlestar Galactica TOS centric spin. We love all sci-fi, right, Chris? But
Oh yeah.
I think we are grounded in our late 70s and 80s sci-fi. So, John 1 is with us. Thanks, John, for tuning in. And he's going to be, that's John 1, everyone. John is going to be bringing us some news updates next show, next week. So, looking forward to getting some of that. So, Chris, we got to do our traditional toast to the fans before we get into stuff because
That's
we got
right.
stuff to talk
We always
about.
do a toast to the fans because here at Interfleet Broadcasting, we believe that fans fuel the fleet, and it's important that we recognize you and we toast to you for joining us and keeping the fandom alive. So, fans fuel the fleet. Welcome to the show.
Here's to you guys.
I packed my other mug.
Yeah, the fancy one with the eagle.
Yeah, I thought I kept it out. I have 12 of them, one for each colony. And
Excellent.
I
That's it.
packed all 12 of them.
You should have more.
Yeah,
Chris,
well.
you need more. Oh, actually, you're incorrect. Because I have a funny feeling. Does that 12 include the actual used one, the prop?
No, I just have 12 with eagle heads on it. I have 20.
Oh, so you're just holding back. I embarrassed you into telling us the truth.
I
20,
have
not
20
12,
of the standard
20.
ones, yes.
And
It
that doesn't
came as
even
a group.
include. That
I
doesn't
have a
include
problem.
the.
I really do. I have a.
Yeah,
I have
it's cool. Say it.
Hi,
Say
my
it.
name's Chris, and I have a drinkware problem.
You didn't say it correctly. It's a Battlestar Galactica drinkware problem. Because you have a screen.
You're supposed to say, "Hi,
used.
Chris." You know, my first drinkware problem started when I bought the glasses from.
But you have an actual screen
Yes.
used mug. You have
Yes.
one of these that looks like this.
Yeah, I was just looking at it when I was packing it up the other day, and the funny thing is some of those mugs came with a. This is way off topic. I'm sorry. Some of those mugs came with like a something on it, like a seal or excuse me, railroad or whatever else. And some came plain. I got all the plain ones I could find, but I was looking at mine today, and I just happened to turn it around, and you can see where they sanded off. You look at you have to hold it in the light. You can see the circle where something was there, and they sanded it off.
No.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So.
Oh man.
That's kind of interesting that they went that
they
went that
screwed it
deep to
up.
make sure. Yeah. They made sure that
what a shame.
that emblem was sanded off so it would look standard and not. They probably went to a thrift store for all we know, because you remember Jean-Pierre. He was talking about how he would just go buy stuff in bulk and just whatever they had.
Oh, absolutely, man.
It
Good stuff.
You can look at it really and sand it off. So I'm sorry, we jumped off topic there, but
that's all right.
So I have a drinkware problem, and once again, you can tell I have a drinkware problem because I'm starting to talk about drinkware again.
And it's all Battlestar Galactica related.
Yes, everything is Battlestar Galactica related. I'm actually now looking for the plates and the pewter plates and things that they used in the one with
the wedding.
No.
The wedding scene?
No, not
the
that
wedding
one.
scene. Which one? There's a couple of scenes. There's only a few scenes where they actually sit and eat.
Right. The one I'm talking about is the one where he's on the planet Equus, and what the heck's the name of the show? Somebody will remember it here in a second. But it's they're on Equius. They got the bovine. It's the high noon episode with
Oh yeah, that's a great episode, man.
So when he sits down to eat with her,
yes,
they have like steel or like pewter plates and things. So
yes,
I know.
And then later on, we get to see the jacket.
Yes,
that Martin.
Yeah,
and we get to see the other Battlestar.
Yep.
Patch.
This one.
Which yes, that's right. I think they wore it upside down.
Yeah,
and
the other. It's actually a military patch.
Yeah.
That's
right.
It's just from the medical unit of some type.
So yeah, so man,
unit.
that's a good
cool
one.
patch though. But we don't know what Battlestar this is. So you can make up whatever you wanted to. There's a bunch of different Battlestars out there that they mentioned, the Rykon, everything else. And
the Acropolis, and a whole bunch of others.
The Acropolis they said was this one. I got to take these off anyway. So
yeah, it's that one down there. Yep.
Yeah, this is the Acropolis one supposedly.
Supposedly, yeah.
Wow, we were way off topic tonight, but we're having fun.
Yeah, we're always having fun. So
I just throw these on here because I got to take them off to move them anyways.
Well, the Lost Warrior, right?
Is that the Lost Warrior?
I think you're talking about the Lost Warrior.
Yeah, I think it is.
Crash landing on a remote planet. Apollo helps a beautiful widow.
Yes, that's it. Lost Warrior.
That's it.
Remember what the guy's name is?
Lola said, "The Lost Warrior."
Yeah, no, the name of the Viper pilot that was shot down. It was her husband's name.
I already mentioned it.
What was it then?
Let's let somebody. I know what it is. I said it already. Let's see if we get somebody that was somebody. Yeah, let's get somebody to chime in. However, listen, Chris, there's a couple.
Sorry, we went off topic there. Hang on, we're bringing.
Well,
Pete's gonna bring us back around.
I wanted to show you this. And
let's get a close up of that.
Okay.
There
right.
You go.
Although it looks like a
That's
wrapper.
the biggest wrapper I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh well. You know what? Hold on, because I can reach over like magic, and I will produce a sealed pack of 1978 Battlestar Galactica trading cards like this. Watch. Like magic. Go over to...
Not so much magic, you just got to look for it.
Look. Whoa.
Oh, yeah, see how much smaller that one is? So how'd they make the bigger one?
Okay,
was one of the... Holy crap, that's a big difference.
Yeah, so this is artwork.
Oh, really?
But, yes, but check this out. Let's see if you can hear this.
Ooh, sounds yummy.
That's for you to eat on air. I'm sending you this one. It's the gum.
Actually, I'll pick it up next week.
Oh, it's the gum right there. And Chris is going to eat that live on air. And I am going to... I have to have some kind of a button because I'm going to lose it. I'm going to laugh hysterically when you have to, you're going to upchuck all of that. So there is an artist on Etsy, and he's... Tough Guy Goods on Etsy, and Carl 538. I said that
TUFF or TUF?
TOUGH. Tough Guy Goods, and so I reached out.
Anyways.
He does different various trading card interpretations, right? So this is on a card, and I'm gonna frame this ultimately, and so cool. I contacted him. I asked him if he could make one of these for me, and so he did. And and then after he sent it to me, I told him, I said, "Hey, listen, by the way, I just want to let you know that I'm gonna mention this on our show because it's really beautiful." And he was like, "Okay." So
yeah. So what? Who are you? Yeah. Whatever. But, you're trying to get it for free or something, probably.
Don't care. No. These are old. I paid for it, but I just thought it was really, really cool. So since we're talking real quick about cards,
money this week. The only thing I did was
get
an apartment.
Have you seen one of these? Look at that.
Oh, back to the Pete cam.
Boy.
Do the Pete cam.
Oh boy, look at that.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, and on the back of this, it has. Look at that. I just got this in today.
But where's Morin?
And I've been looking to get these for a while
Look at
and
those
never got a
beautiful
chance to.
chrome Cylons.
Cylons. Look at that. And it's got the whole breakdown. And I just thought that was kind of cool. I mean, they just came in today, so I couldn't help myself. But so Chris, look, we're gonna do chapter 9.
Yep.
Right. We're gonna try to pick up where we left off, which was basically the second section. However,
Yeah, roughly. Yeah, we'll do a quick review. Yeah.
yeah, we'll do a quick one, but let's take the opportunity. Sean, welcome to the show. Gum. Sean's like, Gum. You're more than welcome to share the gum with Chris. But I just wanted to put this out real quick. We haven't done this before, Chris, but you and I kind of discussed. We talked about it. We discussed this right before we went live, and we said that we're gonna actually we have confirmed guests,
Yes.
and we're just gonna put it out. Right,
Sure.
we're gonna name them. So on March 11th, which is next week, we have Marcelo Arias. He did an interview for us. He recorded it and he sent it up with subtitles from Chile. And so
those of you who can speak Spanish, you'll don't need the subtitles.
exactly. And he just told us that he felt, he didn't reject our request. He jumped all over it.
Yes.
We've been sitting on it for a couple of months, and he was kind enough to do this for us. And, we thank him so much. And so we're putting it up.
And he put a special CGI Battlestar trailer together just for IFB.
For us to broadcast. It's really cool.
Oh, it's amazing.
So it is. It really is. So we're going to have that up next week. And then on the 18th, Chris, we're going to have the president of Global Star Productions.
Yes.
And he also had a series, streaming series that was called Who the Frack. He worked very closely with Richard Hatch, Michael Warhan, and we're really lucky to have him come on board. And it's a real treat to have him. And
bring up his site real quick.
Okay. So yeah, he's got some phenomenal work that he's doing, has done, and is going to continue doing. So we're really lucky to have Michael coming on. And Who the Frack? Yeah, there it goes. I went ahead and I'd watched all those clips, and they were really something.
This is his Global Star Productions.
Oh yeah.
And this is I don't know if anybody's heard of the Monkey King. It's one of the bigger things that he's done. It's really interesting. It's really cool to watch. If you get a chance to go in here, I'm not going to play it only because I don't know who owns. You can get it for $24.99 on Blu-ray. I don't know who owns the music to it, so
right.
I don't want to do the same thing that happened to us last time. We played a movie trailer with George Zuvalos, another actor producer, and we played his movie trailer, and we got hit with a a copyright violation. So it's like, oh, okay. So it automatically went in there and it blanked out. We told him, we went in there and automatically blanked out the audio for it so we could keep it up.
Right. Because they had, when they created that short and put it out into the film festival circuit, they had limited rights to original content music. And so when we played it, that becomes a bit of an iffy subject, and therefore Facebook doesn't want to play. Although as a news entertainment program, we are supposed to be on the exempt list, but that's okay. We're just gonna play it right, or safe. On March 25th,
this is
we got
Who's the Frack.
Oh yeah, that's
he
good
was
stuff.
a really good friend with Richard, and so he's going to give us a lot of really good story. He wants to tell us a lot of stories about Richard Hatch. He wants to tell us a lot of stories about Second Coming and those kind of things. The projects that they worked on. Who's the Frack is, you haven't seen this, and it's whothefrack.com, and it's a pretty interesting little cool series that you can see where you see Richard Hatch, Thumb Fighter Hatch, go in there and talk and do some interviews at cons and things like that. It's really kind of neat. It really gives you a human feel, which I don't
behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes a humanity feel for it. So this is him right here. We're Mr. Michael. We've been back and forth. I know if he's listening to this, I'm going to catch. We've been researching, trying to find a place where somebody has said his name correctly. But I haven't found one yet.
Not his first name. His first name's Michael.
Michael, I can do. Yeah, it's if you do the German version, it's Verhan. If you do the American version, it's Werhan. So we're gonna meet with him beforehand and let you know exactly how to say it. But really cool person. He's been back and forth with us on emails. He's excited to come on the show. He's turned down. I don't know if I said this before, but he said he wanted to come on our show because he's been approached by a couple other news agencies that do interviews with him, and he's turned them down so he can come on our show, which was, yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Very cool. Very
we're not
cool.
worthy. We're not worthy.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is really cool.
Yeah,
so
he said he's turned down TMZ and a couple other ones just so he could be on our show, which is great. Really makes us feel good. And then Pete, our next one after that is
the 25th. We're gonna do we've decided that would be the introduction to the 10 centon with found colonies of fans, and we have Mediocre Modeler coming on. He's got his own site and he does model builds, and he sports a Battlestar Galactica uniform that he wears with I think it's one of those fully lit, the high end helmet, Colonial Warrior helmet. So we're gonna let him talk about it because I've been fascinated with the helmet.
Yeah, but he's amazing because when you say we love science fiction. Whoops, put me up here too. There we go. Hi, here I am. So we do a lot of science fiction stuff that goes across different ones. We don't just stick with Battlestar Galactica. And he is in the process right now of building a Boba Fett helmet. And he's doing it step by step on his channel. It's really interesting. You get a chance, check it out. And if you get a chance, don't forget to come and meet him. And as we interview him on the, what date was it again? 18th, 19th, 20th.
He's going to come on for the 25th for the spotlight that we have. And he did a Mandalorian helmet. He's done a whole bunch of really cool stuff. So you guys tune in.
That's the Boba Fett helmet, right? Mandalorian helmet.
He's working on the Boba Fett, but he did a Mandalorian. You need to calm down with that Star Wars rage of yours. Chris Tucker's on. Thanks for joining us, Chris. So we have on the 8th, we have Eric Patton, fanfic. He's been involved with the fan fiction and fanzines for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And
he's did a lot of stuff for Clean Slate Press.
Yes, he came in. He told us kind of sort of like on the tail end of that frenzy. So he got to actually work with some of the big names of the fanzine world, including the ones that put out a lot of the Battlestar Galactica fanzine stuff, fan fiction stuff. Yeah, man. So he's got some great stories. We're going to ask him to, give us some background and how things get put together. Cause he's still writing and, sharing his stuff, and he's going to let us know the status of Chris. There's a website that, has a lot of the fan fiction on it. And from what he told us, it's going to be up and running soon again with, fully populated with all the different fan fiction that's out there, including a lot of his work. So Eric, thanks for coming on. And then we have on April 15th, Sean, our very own Sean. Yes. He's actually with us tonight, and he's got a Facebook page, a Battlestar Galactica page that he has, and we're going to get into that as well. And so he'll be featured on a 10 centon segment with us. And then, of course, the 10 centons, Chris, I think is our way of introducing and networking and bringing the fandom together, and then bringing them back on to do a regular show. So
we seem to be scattered. a little bit, and it's
A little
always
bit, yeah.
somebody's sandbox is somebody else's sandbox, and I understand that everybody wants ownership of a specific thing, but if we all band, you can imagine what we could do if we all band together.
Oh hell yeah. So
So
yeah, so
yeah,
so it's a way to like feature and do a little cross promotion, make sure that everybody kind of like is networking, right, Chris? I mean that's the
yeah,
bottom line. And so this is how we break the ice. We bring on various admins and Facebook page founders, creators, and so the leaders in their own niche and their own groups. We bring them on, and then this way, we can work through what they're doing and just harness everybody's energies. And I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So that's what we have lined up now. We have others in the wings that we're waiting on getting some solid dates. But I guess the other thing that I want to bring up was um, I got an email from Wizard Brands and Wizard Conventions, and it's actually, believe it or not, I must have missed this because I was I'm always into conventions, very interested in what goes on. I miss them dearly, and this is actually a shareholders letter, is what this email was. And I'm not a shareholder, but they put this out anyway. I got a copy. They sent me a copy of it, and it's it's interesting. It's unique. Well, let's just say that at least for Wizard Brand, they're doing and encompassing. They're embracing the concept of the digital convention and the internet convention distance stuff, which is, I guess, it's here. It's the now. I'm looking forward to going to a real convention. I know that all of you are. Chris, we've talked to Chris about it. Going to Dragon Con and the like. But so Wizard World and Wizard Brands have actually embraced this concept of doing conventions, um, you know, through the net. And so I thought that was fascinating. They've said they've done some successful events so far, and they're going to continue. So at least they're up and running and they're with us. So that means that hopefully at some point, the real world convention will be back. And I've been to a few of theirs, and they're all really good. So I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
Chris, that leaves us with.
I think I don't copy off that real quick. I think what's going to happen now that they've experienced the abilities that you have with a convention that is online as much as you had a convention that was not online. And I think almost all your conventions now are going to be hybrids. They're just going to be, some of them already were a little bit. You could have like Dragon Con had Dragon Con TV, and you could actually pay $10 and actually get afterwards. You could get the recordings of all the things because you couldn't make them all. But I think now that you're going to have actual conventions where people will be able to ask questions off the net and interact with the people on the stage just as much as some of the people in the audience. And I think that's a good thing because some of us can't afford. And why limit your fandom if you can't afford to go to the con or you can't make the con because of work or whatever else? Why limit that the people, the fans, from the being able to talk and interact with the people on the stage or see those kind of things? And I know it's much more fun to be in person. I get it. But I think you're now opening up the ability for people all over the nation who can't come to the con be able to attend parts of the con via a distance learning or a distance multimedia type thing. So that's my 2 cents.
It's a hybrid thing, which is kind of cool. And I mean, let's face it, we represent as a fandom. When you say 150,000 or more attendees that go to a weekend event in New York at Jacob Javits, that's no joke. And then when you talk about San Diego, it's even more. So there's a lot to be said in terms of the fans, and the fans mean a lot to this industry. So if we are part of science fiction and all that, all gadgetry and stuff like that, why aren't we doing more with online or the internet or things like that? So the digital medium is what I'm getting at. So
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is. We're gonna encompass it. Anthony, thanks for watching and joining us. So you know what, Chris? It leaves us
You're totally
ragtag
correct,
fleet.
Sean.
Yeah.
All right.
We are now
It's
ready
that
to
time,
get
huh?
back into it's that time.
All right.
Let's do it.
Book versus episode.
I keep waiting for the Viper. Where's the Viper?
Oh, there's no Viper.
Oh,
Cylons
God.
rule,
Oh,
Colonials
my
drool.
God. Here. Oh, wow. Okay. Get a t-shirt, buddy.
That's
So,
it.
chapter 9, Chris.
No way.
It's chapter 9. And that's it. It's 9 and 10.
Yep,
And
last
we
two chapters.
mentioned this. Yeah, we mentioned that the 9 and 10 kind of bulky, two of the bulkier, longer chapters of the book itself, which is interesting. But there's some differences between the premiere and what goes on here. So last show program we did, we started the chapter, and then we had an unexpected guest who happened to have been missing in action previously. He was found. J.J. Miller, none other, one of our most favorite authors, and a New York Times bestseller multiple times over. He dropped in, and we had a fantastic interview session with J.J. Miller, and it was awesome. Told us all kinds of great stuff, and the work he had done on Galactica. He's done the trifecta. So he's done the Star Wars franchise along with the Star Trek, Star Wars, and Battlestar Galactica, like all at one time. So he owns, I guess, bragging rights to that. So others have done similar, but not at the same time, I think is the way he said it here.
That's the same year,
so,
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, same year, something like that. So
Yep.
so we had him on. So we obviously deferred to him, and we didn't continue on with chapter 9 for obvious reasons. So we now will be picking up, Chris, or did you want to do a quick for section 1? Because we finished section 1.
Section 1 was just we did the Adama journal, which was of course always the same, and it was talked a little bit about hang on, get back to where it was at. Woohoo, there we go. Now I can do that.
You want to come back on screen? There you go.
There we go. So a lot of it was about Baltar and how he couldn't stand to write about Baltar in his journal until just that point. So that was kind of the part for that. And then chapter 9 started out with the base ship and the Imperious leader, and a couple of cool things in there in regards to they talk about how there was the Supreme Star Force stationed at Borealis, which is where, of course,
your favorite Sire Yuri,
which in this chapter he talks well. But anyways, I didn't like him until this chapter. How's that? I don't really like him anyways. He's he's slimy, but he brings up good points in this. Yeah,
he's a creep, man. Yeah. Oh my God. You're saying that because of one sentence.
We'll get to it.
No. There's a book with 244 pages. He makes one comment. There's one slimy character.
Comment.
Oh my God!
It's not only his comment, but it's Adama's comment. We'll get to it.
All right.
Anyways, all right. Back to where we're at. So Borealis, they had the Supreme Star Forces stationed at Borealis underneath a camouflage net. And if you don't remember that, that's Apollo made the camouflage net.
Yep.
So they can hide stuff behind it. The only funny thing is I did find in this thing is he's like, hey, they're all over here, but we found the rest of them over here. So remember in a couple of chapters back, they split. Unlike the show, they split away with Galactica and the ships that were able to do faster than light or light speed, whatever. Go to Carillon, and the others stayed behind, which is it's unheard of in both Battlestar Galactica. Oh my gosh, we can't split up the fleet.
Right.
What do they do?
Right.
They split up the fleet.
Because they used the camouflage.
We'll come back and get you, maybe.
Camouflage, baby.
Yeah, so we'll come back and get you, maybe. So they split up the fleet, and then of course they arrive there, and then this thing is they're like, hey, we found the other fleet. And the Imperious leader's like, I'm not interested in that. I want the Galactica and Adama. I'm like, imagine what he could have done if he would have just annihilated the rest of the fleet. It would have been,
that's it.
It would have been easy pickings.
Yep, that's for sure.
But so that's kind of where it ends up in there. And then he said I guess we now roll over to the Bridge of the Galactica. I don't think we got this far.
Yes.
Did we?
No, this is where we're at now. So we're caught up, and we're now on the Bridge of the Galactica, and Adama is going to meet the council, right? So that's kind of like there's interaction. So obviously, since Commander Adama's on the bridge, you know who's there as well. Colonel Ty, he's also mentioned, and so there's this thing, a little bit of dialogue back and forth on the fact that Adama has been more or less summoned to go to see the council. Now, basically, everybody that's on the council, including, Sire Yuri, have all eaten and drunk from the fountains and everything else down on Carolon. So they're all loopy, and they want to tell Adama what they're going to do. So needless to say, Adama's walking into this, and he's not happy. He's kind of upset as is. And so, Sire Yuri starts talking, and it's pretty, I think it's pretty much the same as what we see. And I think Chris has a
roughly.
clip.
I got the clip. Yep.
All right, cool. Let's do this.
Yeah. So, the thing to remember in this clip is funny is, I believe, we'll talk. We're going to kind of talk through this a little bit too. So if you need to watch the show without our commentary across it, please go watch the show. But once again, we're trying to keep the YouTube monsters and Facebook monsters away. So we talk over top of it a little bit. So we'll say a couple of words here and there to keep it from doing it. But really interesting thing. So we'll go ahead and launch this over. He looks so happy.
What is the purpose of this special council?
Adama, I'm afraid I must ask you to respect the order of business until called upon by this chair.
Down,
that's a dagger slap there, buddy.
Yeah.
To propose. Thank you.
Professor he was. Oh, God.
A hasty
I can't
attempt to
stand him.
outrun the Cylons
What a
spawned
vomit.
in the midnight of desperation.
Oh, God.
Seems
That's a quote from the
foolhardy
book.
in the light
Yes.
of day.
Or vice versa.
I propose instead, we now attempt to appeal for justice and mercy.
Justice.
Oh, whoa.
Justice from the Cylons.
Oh, come on, the Cylons will give him justice and
Is
mercy.
that what you
Come
actually
on,
said?
Adama. Let's go.
Gentlemen, they've
Yes.
told
It's
us
funny how he says he wants to punch him.
that they would
in the
not
book he
stop
says he's
until
gonna punch
every
him.
human had been
he
exterminated.
did. That's right.
Now, why should they believe we are now willing to accept that which we've always found to be unacceptable? To live under Cylon rule.
See?
Because
That's
we
all you
would
gotta do.
destroy our arms.
See, that's all you
To
got to do.
prove we're willing to live in peace.
Yeah,
Destroy our only means of defense.
yeah,
Or
or
attack.
attack.
May I remind my brothers
Oh, come on.
that we did not have conflict with the Cylons
Here you go, listen.
until we intervened in their relations with other nations.
Yes. Yes, you are right. We did not come into conflict with the Cylons until we helped our neighbors, whom the Cylons wished to enslave.
Neighbors.
And until we help the Hasaris get back their nation, taken by force by the Cylons.
Correct. If we mind our own business, there's every reason to believe that the Cylons will leave us alone.
Yep. Dr. Goodfellow, and he
There you
was on
go.
Buck Rogers.
This is what I'm
And
saying.
You should have stayed there. Oh my God, what is it with you? Colonials started the war. Change my mind.
The Colonials started the war. He just said it. We didn't have
Listen,
trouble with the Cylons until
They
we
helped the
helped
Hasari,
the Asaris gain back their nation.
neighbors.
They stuck their
because
nose in
the-
somebody else's war.
The Cylons would have come after them anyway.
Like, you don't
and
have-
I
you don't
want to
know that.
know, is that you in that picture? And does that say IFB on it? That's more important because you're not going to give it up. You're not giving it up. The fact that we don't know what happened to the Hasari, I think it's simple to assume or to say that they were probably destroyed. They're gone. We don't hear about them again. It's a 1,000-year war, right? And that's because the Cylons are driven by total domination. They would not have left the colonies
driven
alone.
by complete order. Now, did they
Yes.
destroy the Ovions?
No, they enslaved them.
There you go. See, they're following the
Insectoid
order,
people.
right?
Insectoid people that are enslaved. So
But
why
they're happy.
then? No, they're not happy.
Yes, they are.
Why did
They're happy with
Baltar?
their life.
Why wasn't Baltar granted his wish? He was supposed to have control of his own little kingdom, and they didn't give it to him. So
The Colonials started the war.
Sean says they were practicing isolationism until Hasari attacked. Interesting. All right, whatever, man.
But
you know, okay.
It's true. You guys started the war.
Greg is with us, and Keith is with us. Yo, Yuri, it was a matter of time. It says a matter of time. Thanks.
Yeah.
See, it's just like anyone with a human brain. The problem with Chris is he's got nanites. He's got Cylon IL5 or IL4. Chris has IL4 series technology, and he needs the 5, and this is why he's got to talk like this.
No. I know the truth. So a couple of things other than there. I'll put it up.
The truth is out there.
I'll put it up for everybody else. One of the other things they did in there is something we didn't find before was this in the book.
President Anton.
Now, President Anton is one of Adama's biggest friends.
Yes.
But when he walks in there, he's like, President Anton, it even says in the book, he's like, he's almost dressed down. It's like, he has a chair away from, he's no longer in the council circle. He's got a chair that's away from the council circle because he's no longer president. Now, President Anton it tells him, hey, have a seat and here's your coloring book and your crayons, sit down.
Yep.
So, you get that Daggett slap right there in the beginning. Hey, you got to follow the order. You need to sit down and follow the order. So it's like Adama knows he's on he's in a losing end of this already. So
right, which he does mention in the book. So like we get into his mind a little bit, and also Adama has a hunch, which is mentioned also. He believes that he can't understand. It's like, how did they all? We know that they all had gone down, and that we know that they're drugged, right? We know that the Ovions have actually put something in the food and the wine and the drink, but that doesn't excuse Sire Yuri. He is who he is, and he's
right.
The next big bad guy. And the next big thing in this part or this section, Chris, has got to be then the introduction of, Sire Yuri hatches a plan.
Right.
And he does it by saying he wants to then decorate the 3 pilots.
It's similar to the movie, and actually really close to the movie. They add a little bit more information in the book in regards to what goes on before they go back to the Galactica to get their uniforms on. I do want to bring back just real quick. We didn't have conflict with Cylons till we defended our slave. The Hasaris to get back to the nation taken by force, and dang it, I just saw it.
There is nothing else to discuss about this.
No. There's another, and it says other worlds. Where's it at?
Oh God.
Other nations. So
other nations.
Yeah. May I remind your brothers, with peace of silence, we didn't have conflict until we intervened with relations with other nations. So
By the way,
what are the other nations?
Who are you quoting?
That would be Yuri.
Oh, God. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
But still, I mean, I think it's funny that they mention here we are. We're stuck. You kind of get this idea that there's 12 worlds and that's it.
No,
but no, there's the Hasaris, and then there's other, quote unquote, other nations.
Oh yeah.
Who are they? Are they humanoid? Are they? I mean, this is something that could easily be put into a fanfic type thing. That's you can go back in time and during the 1,000-Year War and talk about a whole new race of people that were helped by the Colonials.
Later on, Apollo talks about how there was an age of exploration, right? God, Hand of God, I think, when they go into that dome and they talk about how those things were for stellar charts or something, or to set up and to, for exploration, because that was part of what, they did. And that's what he would long for. In the beginning of the premiere of the movie, they talk about like what would happen, I think, if there's no more war, then what do they do? And
we're gonna go. Like, that's he's telling Zach the big challenge is deep space exploration.
Yeah, space exploration. So there's parts of space that they've obviously not been to, places they've forgotten about, which the whole mythical lost tribe. So I guess Sire Yuri's his ploy is to give the 3 medals, right? Recognize the 3 pilots: Boomer, Starbuck, Apollo, and that's that's the setup. And then we get to the next section of the chapter.
Yep. Next section, we end up back on Carolon, by the way. So
Starbuck's kicking it. Well, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, because you mentioned this earlier.
So
he's go ahead.
So go ahead and make sure we want to put a shout out to our sponsor this today. A sponsor is Carolon Vacations. Don't forget to book your next vacation at Carolon and be pampered by the Ovion people, who will make sure you are very well fed so they can feed on you. That's it. Carolon Vacations. Yeah. Don't forget to go to Carolon Vacations at carolonvacations.galactica.
Yeah, and the only reason that we haven't heard of it is because it's a one-way vacation.
You'll never want to leave. Oh, you never leave. One of the two.
Everyone, what is it? Everyone checks in. Nobody leaves. Yeah, you don't check out. That's it.
It's the Hotel California of the stars.
Yep. Yeah, Hotel Carolon.
Hotel Carolon. You can check in, and the bugs will check you out.
Oof. Oh man, that's bad.
But we find out a little more information on that at the end. So Starbuck is down on the planet with Carolon, and he has a meeting with the the singers.
There you go. Tucana.
They call them. Yeah, I didn't think there was a name for them in the show. I don't believe there wasn't in the movie. There wasn't. They didn't call them anything, did they? I don't remember ever hearing anything about them calling us different singers.
It's on the cards.
It's on the cards, yes, cards. But it's not in the movie.
And that's how I knew. I knew what they were called because on the cards they're called Tucanas or Toucans, and then of course in the book. But in the movie, in the premiere, I don't think they mentioned them by name. Like I mentioned before, Battlestar Galactica was always fast paced.
This is really fast. The end of this book is extremely fast paced. It's
a lot going on.
Fast.
Yeah.
It's
one
paragraph, something else is going on. Another paragraph, something else is going on. But they finally come together in one.
Starbucks.
Go ahead.
Spending time with, right? So he's kicking it, and there was a very interesting long interaction between Starbuck and we don't know if it's the lead singer or not, but he's trying to convince the group to go with him, and he'd become their agent. And he's in the dressing room, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
he's not. Yeah. It's not like in public.
It's the dressing room, and it's not the public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's an observation that you picked up on.
Chris. It's funny that they mentioned in the book, and of course, Universal and them also got really upset about this because I guess that's, they didn't like Dirk Benedict smoking cigars. That was all throughout all Universal. They said he's not going to smoke cigars, and actually he ends up smoking a cigar, and everybody liked it, and he started getting cigars in the mail and everything else. He tells a pretty good story in a lot of his interviews. But in this scene, the Tucana singer has got a huge, big, fat, full-fledged cigar, and it's in her lower mouth. So the censors took that one out.
That's
female
for sure.
Smoking? I mean,
that's a no-go.
It was really it says a fat cigar in her lower mouth, not to be confused with the upper mouth.
Upper mouth, because that's the one she's speaking from. Yeah.
So you smoke and speak at the same time. That's convenient.
So Boomer, right? Chris Boomer, goes to get him and says, "Come on, listen, let's get going." Meanwhile, Starbuck's like, "I'll take a 70-30 cut." Yeah, like
he's trying to get with him, and then he ends up, and she gets upset. So I'm not gonna do that. She says, and then she's like, she gives that hint or vibe that they're being watched or whatever else, and then Starbuck says he looks and sees an Ovion run behind a curtain or hide behind a curtain, so he's got this unfeel. But then it flips over to another series where he's waking up in his hotel room. Boomer's waking him up. So he's partied all night, and now Boomer's waking him up.
So in this section, Boomer tells him, "Hey, look, we have to, so right from where you said, right, so Starbuck notices the Ovion and the Tucana, no matter what kind of a deal he's willing to cut, they're not biting. Boomer shows up and says, "Listen, we got to get going." And Starbuck's like, "Yeah, something weird is going on here, right? It's something strange." Boomer's like, "Look, we're going to get an award. It's the highest military honor, the Golden Cluster." And then they refer to their uniform, which is very interesting. I don't think this is divulged really anywhere else. We'll dig this out. We'll tease this out eventually, but at least this is probably the first time ever where they call what their uniforms battle suits. So the jacket, the real cool jacket, is part of their battle suit.
Right.
And Starbuck refers to the Golden Cluster as a star cluster. So it's obviously interchangeable. Yeah. And that's kind of like where it ends. And we're on page 195 now, mind you, of the paperback, right? Yep. So next section is
before we go to the next
Serena.
section, he's like, "Hey, I like Starbuck's answer to this. Like, hey, we're getting a star cluster. You're kidding." He says, "Yeah, you got it. From that, for that matter, the three of us who win in the minefield, we're getting this award." He says, "Comes with some kind of pay raise, doesn't it?"
Yeah.
And Boomer's like,
yeah, come on. So now we're at page 195, and I believe it's towards the bottom third, lower third of page 195, and it's Serena and Apollo walking to the shuttle because he's got to go back because they were together, and Apollo is now told, "Well, we're getting the awards, so you got to go back to got to get back, and you got to get your dress uniform." So there's Boxy and Muffet 2 are in trail, they're trailing them to to say goodbye to Apollo, and there's a conversation that Serena then, subsequent to the see you and later when you get back, Apollo, she speaks to one of the Ovions, Cetol, and Serena asks her, "Where are the male Ovions?" And you get an answer that she's a little bit perplexed with because it's not what she thought she would get, right? So it's like, oh, they do away with them when when they don't need them anymore.
They serve their usefulness. we don't need them anymore. I'm like,
Yeah, so they discard them basically. So then, like the Ovion Cetol like reads Serena's face and she's like, "Are you displeased? Did I tell you something that alarm you? This is just the way it is." She's like, "Oh wow, that's okay, all right." And then
I love the sentence. So the sentence I love in here is like, if you found a way of pathogenesis, have you?
yes.
Perhaps you keep the males at home. And the reply is back is we don't keep them at all. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
That's it. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye. So, next thing you know, next section we go to Apollo on the bridge, Chris, and there's an exchange with Adama. Adama again is onto something, and Adama says, right, you gotta get him down to the planet, and they're so Adama's asking like, what's the where are they in terms of the big picture, right, logistically. So like everything's been harvested. So in a matter of a few days, we've talked about this in other earlier chapters on
right.
how they plant seeds, and the stuff just germinates and everything. It's done, planted, and then harvested within like 24, 48 hours,
right?
Chris, something like that, right?
Yeah,
so he's
they
told,
can plant it and harvest it that fast.
Yeah.
Which is, wow.
Incredible. Yeah. So Adama is he's figuring something out. So he's playing the chess game with Yuri. And so he's going to let Apollo go back to the planet.
Right.
But they're working on something.
Yeah. And it works the same way as the movie, where he's, he tells Apollo it's a ploy, I got to stay here. And Apollo's like, well, you need to go down there and let them know. And he's like, no matter what I say, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and Apollo's upset about that. So Apollo leaves to go down there. And then so it's in the show. I like the way the show did it in regards to the two Vipers, and then the headset, and then talking to Colonel Ty, and Colonel Ty going and getting the uniforms and everything else. That backstory is not in the book, but I really enjoyed that backstory in the show.
Absolutely.
That was fun.
Oh yeah.
So they he knows what he's doing, and that's as soon as Apollo leaves, he turns around and says to Ty, he says, okay, report on the livestock, all being lifted from the surface from the planet now. No interference. Report agricultural project. Everything is harvested, sir. The project will be completed soon. Report the fuel. Another token load just arrived. I said, well, and then he's like, we'll get as much fuel as we can from them. Just don't make it look suspicious. So
yeah, he knows.
Yeah,
he knows.
Smart.
I think
man.
he mentions Chris. I think somewhere up to here he says something about how he's not going to get fooled again.
Yes,
right.
And so that's a really good observation, because in the Adama journals on chapter 2, he had stated how he felt so guilty that he didn't become more forceful to prevent the Cylon attack, and how he swore he was never going to let this happen again. So you kind of get a replay from chapter 2 Adama journal, I believe.
Yeah. So now the next section, we're jumping to Apollo's back on Carolon, and Serena, he's with Serena, and she asks him, write me a poem. I was like, okay, I kind of forgot that.
I've never had a girl tell me before. I can safely say that.
Write me a poem.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, oh, that's walks up to him.
It's a very colonial thing, I guess.
I guess
back in the 1700s, that would have been something that would be very romantic, as for a man to write a woman a poem. Nowadays, if you walked up to a girl and asked her to, hey, I wrote a poem for you, you would definitely be single probably the next day.
Yeah, of course. But That is an early 1900s
Yes.
practice. I mean, and before that, but definitely into the the 20th century. So no questions asked that you brought that up. So prior to World War One, and definitely into World War One, no questions asked. Poems were written, both by Americans and, of course, the British, because you might think, oh, they're older, traditional, or whatever. But no, Americans did, and elsewhere in the Europe itself, all over was this idea of writing poetry, which I thought, to loved ones and for events, people would do that. I thought it was very interesting that you brought that up. So there you
People have
go.
lost that romanticism of that. I think that's
Yeah, I think so. I think that's it.
Now,
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I did was make a mixtape.
Oh boy,
With Chicago and a couple other songs.
Oh
on there.
yeah. So,
Hey, just a quick question for you though, Pete. Since you're the big historian for the Greek excursion back over to in World War One, did you ever come across any poetry that was written in the letters or anything that you did research on?
absolutely.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff. And actually, in 1912-13, there was a lot of that. I actually have original letters and things that were, and yeah, they include poetry. So that is definitely something that they did.
Yeah.
So
That makes
so
sense.
that's
I
fitting.
guess they
It
get that
fits in with
colonial
this.
thing going.
Yeah.
So
Or like almost like a military link of some sort. So
right.
that's I believe you I'm sure you'll agree that that's Thurston's influence. And at this point when he's writing, we don't know how old he is, right? So this is like 1978.
Yeah, he's in his 90s.
So he comes from another generation. So he was familiar with that kind of stuff.
That wouldn't be too much for the generation because the next sentence says,
well,
do you got it? This is write me a poem. And then I couldn't. I really don't know how to do that. It says, I'll do it. Oh, I do. It would mean a lot to me. And she leaned towards and kisses him on the cheek. And she says, you ready? She goes,
I'll be better in private.
I'll do better in private. Oh, there went the romanticism out. Hey, we're just gonna throw that right out the window now.
Oh no,
And
that
then,
was definitely blatant talk of how they had a relationship.
Yep.
They definitely had a relationship. So
and he was about to suggest something even more specific, it says in the book.
Oh yeah.
For their later privacy.
Oh yeah.
Chicka wow wow.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And then he was distracted by a passing person that didn't fit his uniform. So
yeah, exactly. Which is then resets the story, like the narrative, right? Because we got this situation where he's like, oh, blue squadron insignia. He's like, wait a minute.
Yes.
And another quote is, I know most of them, not I know all of them. He's like, I know most of them.
Right.
And there's some type of blue squadron insignia that we don't really know anything about because it didn't play out that way.
That's always been the question I've always had. Is the circle with all the diamonds in it, is that not the blue squadron insignia? It has to be.
Well,
because it's on the uniform and there's no other insignia there.
Right, but that's on the flag too. So we don't know.
Yeah, but is that the blue squadron flag? Because the other flag is that's a whole show on its own. We'll do a whole show on symbols. There we go. Chalk that one down, Pete. Write that one up. Symbols, patches. We'll do a whole show on those. And
we got the paraphernalia for that. Yeah. We got the props for that. That's for sure. Richard Hatch addresses some of that in The Second Coming.
Yes,
because his squadrons, their patches are different color. You have a couple?
I got them.
You got those from, those are from
them.
So that's she's the last seller of, yep, and that's
Green?
how he set that up. So he actually helped. Yep, that's orange, right? That's the orange
Orange?
one because there is a red one. Yep, there's blue. Yep,
Blue, and then there is the
There
other one I
is-
can't reach right now is
yeah,
purple
there's
and red.
one. Yeah, so that's how Richard Hatch kind of was gonna fix that, so to speak, which I thought was such a cool idea. But not that the regular, the generic patch isn't cool. I mean, so we'll get into that. You know what?
Yeah.
You're right. Let's do
That needs to be a whole show.
We could do a program on the whole nomenclature and how they address that. But here, which is the first time it really comes up, and we since we're fascinated, so to speak, with, well, how the hell does he know? First of all, their rank is a whole other thing, but Dorliak
Yeah,
Dorliak addressed that a little bit.
Yeah, Dorliak's got him up here, and they've got him up here.
Yeah. But so that's where that kind of leaves off in that section, and then next thing you know, it's the Ovions, and there's the ceremony, right?
Yes.
And they're getting, so now they're all prepping for the actual, everybody's getting together, and they're about to get there we go. So Sire Yuri, of course, in his glory, is now getting things set, which actually parallels the book. And so now they're like, okay, ceremony, and Boomer. So before they actually get their awards, Boomer's like, what is up with these guys in the uniforms, man? Right? The uniforms are like, there's a lot of guys in ill-fitting uniforms, and it's becoming that obvious to Boomer. Apollo picks up on it. It's, to them, something's wrong because there's guys wearing like ill-fitting uniforms that are supposed to be what?
There's glasses on those tables that I don't have.
Oh my God! Here we go. Yeah, but wait a second. So but Chris,
screenshots of that.
Yeah, but this is the Ovion Casino. You still don't have all the glasses that's on the fleet, and you want to get these?
Yeah, I got research.
This is for later, man. Yeah, you see, you zoomed in on that. Was, yeah, of course, Hawkeye, the actual with the cocktail glasses. Wow, that's awesome, dude. I like that. Yes, because everything Star Trek, right? Classic Trek. Every pixel of those episodes have been broken down and analyzed. So why haven't you then you got to go buy them, man. I'm backing you up 100%.
At least find out what they are.
You got to get them.
There's a number of glasses I'm looking for, but they don't. Nobody has them any.
You got to get with Chris Pappas because I bet you he's got them.
Well,
he might have originals.
Chris Pappas has got the original of the this thing. No, we're off topic.
Oh, he's got the
original
of
the decanter.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. So well, look, Chris, bottom line is this is now we're on page 201 of the actual novel, and we have only about 5 full pages left.
Let's tough it out. I know it's been an hour, but let's tough it out.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We can do that. Or
as long as we don't go off on cups. Glasses.
This might be a good. But this might be a good spot if you so approve. This might be a good spot to kind of leave it so that we can then wrap up the rest of, because there's a really good part that is. There's one section.
We gotta get to that part. Come on.
It's 8, and then the one we really want to talk about is 9.
Yeah.
And we're still not done with the chapter because 9 is Cassiopeia, but we're not there yet, and it's a good one.
Oh yeah.
And it's worthy of a lot of talk. So I don't know what you want to do, Chris.
So what else we got to talk about tonight? We good?
Well, we have the rest of. I mean, it's the section 10 of chapter 9 is 203, and that still leaves us with like 2, 4, 6 pages. So your call, buddy. Your call. Come on. Bit. What do you say, my man?
Do we have
Mr.
anybody out
Cylon.
What do the people in the outside world say?
All right. It's up to you guys.
It's up to you guys. You want us
Sean
to keep
and
going, or you
Keith
good?
and Lola's and everybody else, John and whoever's still on with us, staying up into the wee hours. Sometimes we get
We
some
can
of our
finish
fans
out the
from
chapter, or we
Australia.
can finish it
Yeah.
off next week.
Yeah, Charlene's on. Charlene jumped
Yep.
on now, and so yeah, it's up to you guys. You guys want us to finish out, or would you
It'll take
like
us
to then?
another 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, it'll definitely take another. Yeah, if we do it
Maybe
right,
30
it'll take
minutes.
30 minutes. Yeah, let's.
You guys want to
call
stick
it.
with us for 30 minutes? I don't see any
Yeah, come on.
recall.
All right, so I'm voting. I am voting on behalf of the council.
Next week, we can discuss. All right. Lola says
All
next
right.
week.
Done deal.
We can
It's
blame Lola
bedtime
if
is
anybody else gets
correct.
angry now. It's Lola's
Correct.
fault.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's actually Alaska. John
Yeah?
Lubin from Alaska. Oh, John says go
hang
for
on.
it, and Eric
There you go.
Eric says we got to go for it.
There's Alaska for you.
There's Alaska. Hey Lola, we're
Lola, I think you're getting outvoted.
yeah, Lola, we're gonna have to go for it. So
Yeah.
let's do this. Let's do it because the Cassiopeia is more than worth it.
Oh,
So
Cassiopeia is
here we go.
amazing. I love this.
All right. So next section is section 8 of the chapter. It's page 201 to 202 from the actual paperback, the novel.
Yep.
Apollo is even more suspicious as he he's watching, and I think he bumps into one of these guys, these strangers in a military uniform, and he's in a dress uniform. Some of these guys, I guess, are either in dress uniforms or battle suits, and he's like, who the hell are these people, and what now is going on? So that's kind of like real quick. It's not that long. It goes from one page to the other, and that's the gist of this. And the next scene is one of the best. It's Cassiopeia is obviously at the casino, right, on Carillon, and now we get the most backstory we've ever gotten on who, what, where, and her abilities and skills in terms of who Cassiopeia is. And it is incredible. And we also find out a little bit more of how much of a creep Sire Yuri is. Right, Chris? So Sire Yuri's like hitting on Cassiopeia, and she's like, get lost, creepo. Right? Sire Yuri has made about 20 indiscreet proposals, and he's following her around the casino. Creep.
That's not too
Man, he needs to, just come on, creepo. So 20, right? It says has made about 20 indiscreet proposals. Can't imagine the things he must have said. And then he gets pissed off on top of that, right, Chris?
Yeah, he gets ticked off, and I'm trying to find out his exact words here.
Yeah, he's all pissed off, and he makes a remark about her being a socialator.
Yeah. He says, let's see, finally gave up, muttering that no damn socialator should dare to insult him like by turning him down.
Oh, God. What a creep.
So he looks down upon her being the socialator. But we find out next, in the next couple of things, is what kind of socialator is she?
Okay, but before that, so Cassiopeia is they said that they refer to it as in a dark mood, right? So she's I don't know, not so much depressed, but she's gotten into a funk based on everything that kind of happened or whatever. And there are meditative techniques that she knows that could be used to get your mindset out of that darkness. And then on top of that, Sire Yuri's like hitting on her. So come on, man. What the hell? So we now then find out, page 202, 203, we get these gold nuggets of who and what Cassiopeia represents, background, what she's accomplished, and what she actually had, her status. She has status. And go ahead, Chris. Let her rip, man.
So she is it's you have to wonder, because in a couple chapters back they talked about the schooling that she went through to become a socialator and some of the massage techniques that she had to learn, and all of those pieces that those things that hey, I've got a headache, Starbuck like, I got a headache, and she's like, oh, you need to book an appointment. So she almost sounds like a real professional. Well, we find out she is a real professional. So she sits down in this plushy chair in this back corner, and she's kind of really tired, and she's trying to calm herself down by using some of the meditation techniques that she has learned. And she's sitting there, and the things that keep coming to her mind, which is she's having flashbacks, which is great because now we get to learn a little bit about Cassie and what she's all about. But so she's the other scenes that are popping into her mind are, one of the scenes is her winning the highest academic honors, and the awarding of the Golden Fringe, which she's allowed to wear. So the socialator's ranking she's got this Golden Fringe. Well, what does that ranking give her? Well, what does that mean? That's one of the highest things that she gets. She's an instructor. She teaches others to be socialators. So she's a subject matter expert in the dark arts.
So no one would call them dark, but the pleasurable arts.
The red arts, maybe? I don't know. But so she's got this high academic award. And it also says right in here, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Pete.
No, she's. I think
the award required Gemini's. Yeah, the award required Gemini's males to treat her with special dignity. So
because she's
Gemini's.
Officer and a teacher.
Yeah, an officer, like a ranking. That's like, wow.
Yes. And so she's a Gemon, right? She's
Gemini's.
Which I thought was, pretty interesting. And then the other reveal is love affair with an artist. That's her background. She, when everything happened, the destruction of the colonies, she had been involved with an artist. So, and then
that artist's name was Commander Kane?
No. He's been missing for a while. So how about that, huh? That's interesting. Yep. There you go. The carnal arts is what George says. Yes, George. The carnal arts. Yep. Eric says
like carnival arts? Is that the same thing?
Could be. Eric had the Golden Fringe Award. He had it right away. Part of a long-time fanfic site that currently is down, waiting for the site owner to get it back up so we can get some more fanfic and Galactica stuff, which we are going to discuss in detail when he comes on, which is awesome. And yes, the Gemini's Picasso. Yes, excellent.
There's a fanfic in itself.
And I bet
let's talk about the Gemini's Picasso who fell in love with Cassiopeia, or Cassiopeia fell in love with him. So he didn't make the trip. So lucky for Starbuck. He didn't
make the trip, and she's been kidnapped by the Ovions.
Yes. Now so these things come, which is different. Usually it was the elevator in the show.
Yes.
In this case, it's an elevator that's hidden behind something. So that she gets these arms grab her, and she gets taken away. And I also described that she doesn't go away very peacefully. They had to get extra Ovions, which are actually described in the book short, to help out keeping her down, and they finally get her where they need her to go. So this is where Sire Yuri gets gets up with Serena again.
He calls her over.
Yeah,
calls her over there, and that creepy. Yeah. Well, he's like the creep that he is, and Serena's like probably rolling her eyes, right? And he's like, "Where are they? We're the Warriors. We're supposed to give them their award. Where are they?" Right? So he's kind of annoyed, and I suggest you find your friends and tell them we're going to begin. And I would like to speak with you later. Creep. What? And then alone. And then he says, she says to him, her response is, drown yourself in the grog fountain.
But she said it sweetly.
Yeah.
According to the dirt, she said it sweetly and moved off. Oh,
yeah, she didn't slap him in the face. Yeah, she didn't slap him in the face. So yeah. Yup. And then we then jump to Cetol, right?
Yes.
And right. So that's where we're at in terms of, the next scene is we're seeing what's going on with the Ovrions behind the scenes, because everything's moving now quick paced, and of course the Cylons on the scene as well, right? So they are now full out in the open in terms of the story. And notice this picture that we have up, and the Cylon has some type of rank.
Yeah.
Right, Chris?
This is the only time you see a Cylon. It's like silver or gold, but he actually has a chest piece and a neck piece. And
that's cool.
The only thing they call him in the show, I believe, they call him a platoon leader or a garrison commander. Sorry, garrison commander.
But not in the premiere though.
Yeah, call him Garrett.
They did.
I think
early
on. I can check. I can't remember.
The Imperious leader may have said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's, so they're there, and now they're starting to.
George says like Como, but I'm not going to go there.
Oh God.
In regards to the sleaziness.
Yeah. Well, that's
innocent until
depending on what
guilty.
your sources are. Whatever depending on what sources, what book you're reading, there's plenty to go around. But so Lotte and Cetol bow and back out of the throne room, which is being occupied by this Cylon, this ranking Cylon, who's there now speaking for the Imperious leader for the Cylon Empire. Right. He's the liaison. So they're trying to, bring in the net, starting to. So they think. Right at this point, these guys, the bad guys, believe, they're all here. Yeah. So that's it. They're gonna wrap it all up.
Yeah.
So now we go to the next part, and it's the Imperious leader.
Yeah, the Imperious
leader.
You
got to talk about
takes
this. All right, Chris, come on.
Yeah, so
you're dying.
So
you're
he's
dying, bro.
Once again, he's they say he's got the compliment, the Lottes and deep voice, but the Imperious leader comes. This is so some of the things he says in here was kind of interesting. That I found, and you take it with a grain of salt because it's a writer's interpretation of the
script and everything else. Yeah,
but I think it was really interesting to think of it this way. It says, he since the time had come, let's get him out from behind the camouflage field, and they would not be able to counterattack, and they could not adequately fight back with their artillery. Which is the first time you ever heard the word artillery mentioned in anything.
Anything.
Yeah. So he orders the Supreme Star Force. I just want to see a patch with a Cylon on it. Supreme Star Force of their ambush screen, out of the ambush screen, and then he orders another force to go with them. So they're evidently a ranking structure. There's a Supreme Star Force. Kind of like, like Vader's red, whatever they are. I'm not a Star Wars fan.
The Emperor's elite guard.
Yeah, whatever they are.
His bodyguard. Yeah.
This is a supreme star force.
Yeah.
So they hit out of the ambush screen, and another force to go attack. And then the other thing he says in here that's kind of interesting is, once again, the Cylons in the book are not robots, and he's got multiple brains. And the leader allowed himself a moment of satisfaction, the kind of joy he felt in conducting such a multifaceted campaign. So he has joy. He has the ability to do the feelings. And that was said in chapter 2 when they talked about the Cylons, is
and the brains.
That third brain gives him the ability to think and feel like a human. Now I've got the song "Feel Like a Woman" in my head, but I don't know why. So you can actually
talk about bedtime.
Yeah, well, so you can actually feel like a human in there too. So that's kind of cool. I like the idea that the Imperious leader has the feelings, and I like the idea the Cylons are not robots, clunky things.
Well, yeah. Eric says, yet he's steering clear of the battle in this version himself. So
yeah, that's a good point. I didn't remember that. Yeah, that's right. He was in one of the things. Of course, they played that. As he knows, they play it into the Baltar's survival. But at this point in the book, spoiler alert, they've already cut his head off.
He's dead.
He's dead. If you haven't seen that, I'm so sorry. I did give you give you a spoiler alert there.
Yeah, exactly. So Apollo and Starbuck, they were looking for the strange men, that are wearing the Galactica uniforms, and there's this now introduction of, wait a second, the other levels. What is up with that, right? So they're like, wait a second, where did they go? So they are blowing off. Yeah, but they're blowing off the awards, right? So they're looking to go find out what the hell's going on. Meanwhile, on the dais, they're calling their names or whatever, and they're like, they're supposed to be there, but they instead are going to investigate what's going on. And next thing you know, right? So they get to the elevator. They're looking to see maybe it's in the lower levels because they're not allowed to go down there because they were told, oh, that's where they just, do work. It's like the workers' levels. Next thing you know, it's Cassiopeia, and she's in a cavernous chamber, and she had struggled, right? And so they flung her onto a massive table. Before she could squirm off, a large canopy-like cover came rapidly down from the ceiling and sealed off her escape. Oof. Oh, man.
Right. And it also talks about a gas. It's pumped into a red gas. She holds her breath, but she can see that it's soaking through her skin.
Yep.
But I want to jump back a second to Apollo and Starbuck in the elevator.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because inside the elevator, in the show, they show them blast a thing, and they say, oh, what level do you want? In the book, of course, they talk about the weapon. They aim at the control panel, and it cuts a near perfect circle section out of the control panel, and the plate falls off, and they reach into it that way. So we all know that there was a back and forth agreement between Star Wars, Battlestar in regards to, showing lasers and you can't show lasers, and that all got worked out later on, but that's a whole nother show in itself, actually.
Oh yeah.
But so I find it funny that they talk about a near perfect circle, but in the show, they just blast the snot out of it. They reach
and then it just goes down.
Yeah, they just reach inside of it. But I had to go back to that. Sorry. So they pick a level, and then so Cassie's in her thing, and she's drugged. That's what I was saying it.
Yeah.
The dark
and we find out more about it.
Yeah.
Later on, it gets even more descriptive.
Yeah,
they tell us even more about what goes on.
Not the same as the show for sure.
Yeah, Eric says the book version sounds more like how a phaser cuts through things in Trek. Yeah. And they have to break into engineering. Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's not what's going on here.
Star Wars told us that they had that idea first.
Yeah, okie dokie. But so this is they're the Ovions, right? They have this sort of like honeycomb of pods, these pod things
Right.
that
And that's in
we
the
don't
show, but not in the book.
well, they talk about the pods,
Yes.
right? They talk about the pods, and that's where Cassiopeia's in. She's in a
Right.
particular pod. So
And they
it doesn't
move
get
her
very
from that pod.
descriptive,
Yeah.
but it's she says the Ovions were opening what appeared to be a large pods with an S, so it's multiple, and a
Right.
trio of other pods, 3 men in Galactica dress uniform, were nestled snugly, calm expressions on their face. So that's weird. And there you go. That's supposed to be the
And
pods,
she smiles
right?
at them and waves. Hi.
Yeah. Look at that thing, dude. What's that thing with the red glowing eyes?
Yeah,
man?
that's supposed to be their babies feeding on them. I think
yeah.
is what the story in the movie wanted.
Yeah, that's gross, man. It reminds me of the Dallas cocoon scene deleted from Alien. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's messed up. But anyway, so moaning. So now we jump over to the next scene, right? Next section. Moaning was the first sound Apollo noticed as he and Starbuck stepped
Right. So
in
we finally
the
start to
oppressive atmosphere.
weaves into each other now. All these different storylines are found in.
Yeah. So they're there, and they're going to be looking for us. And as he started running forward, this is Apollo, he thought he heard the sound of a Daggett barking ahead of him.
Yep.
So obviously, right,
This
we're
is
getting
where-
the foreshadowing of
Yeah.
what's going on. It's
Right.
it's obviously Muffet too,
Right.
and we know that Boxy's down there. So Serena, right? So now next scene, so we're moving quick. Serena finally locates Boxy on the other side of the massive casino. He was, as usual, chasing after Muffet 2. Daggett Droid was sniffling around decorated screens, and he's picking up some kind of a trail. So, Serena smiles, and, people are applauding. There was a madness in the room. Where's Boxy? What happened to Apollo? There's stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
And she starts walking fast, looking for somebody she could trust, and finding no one. So there seems to be, it seems like a little bit of pandemonium. Yeah. And people are getting snatched real quick. Because as far as the Ovions and Cylons are concerned, party's over, man. You guys can think whatever's going on is
the
going on.
Cylons already said, hey, you can have, for the lower chambers, you can have them for the lower chambers. Yeah.
Yeah.
After we kill them off up top, you can have whoever's left down here.
And then the next thing we go to is Apollo and Starbuck.
Yep.
Right. So Apollo and Starbuck, they're obviously they've come out of the the elevator.
Right.
And they're underground now, and so they're getting into it, which is the scenes from think those quick scenes of them underground in the caverns, and I think they're making their way towards what we see in the premiere. There's like a walkway of sorts, so that's kind of like where they're supposed to be down there.
Yeah, that's a really cool little area.
Right. And then they run into the Ovions, Muffet, Boxy, and there's Starbuck emerges into the dim light and sent a beam of laser fire through the alien.
Right. So at this point, it was in the movie, it's the Cylon who's drawing a sword, and they're like, "Run, Boxy!"
Yep.
Because the Cylon's it tries to do the mechanical chop on the little kid, which would have been interesting. So instead of that, in this case, it's an Ovion who has grabbed him and has according to them, a thin knife to the kid, and they're like, "Run, Boxy!" And then they shoot the Ovion, and the laser beam goes through the Ovion. And I think it's a little bit more a beam of laser who seems to collapse inward as she fell to the ground. Once again, remember, all Ovions are female.
Yeah. So, but then just, like a few sentences after that, there's a crowd of Cylons collecting, a whole brigade,
Yeah.
And they're like, Cylons, how'd they get? And so now it's like, oh boy, or the Galactica's under attack. It finally like dawns on them, what the hell's going on? And there's a skeleton crew up on the Battlestar, right? And everybody's down here. And so
they're
now
like,
their
oh my gosh,
minds
what are we gonna
are,
do? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
what they don't know is Big Daddy Adama's already taking care of that.
Oh yeah, but this is now. Check this out. I'm gonna read this scene, which is pretty cool. It begins with this paragraph. Muffet 2, peeking out of the archway, began to bark. Apollo looked. Several Cylons were looking toward the archway, light beaming out from their helmets. When they saw Muffet and Apollo looking out, an officer pointed towards them, and a platoon started running their way. So this evokes images of the actual premiere, right? So this is kind of stuff that we remember, seeing.
In my mind, I see more Cylons than we saw in the premiere. Of course, they only had so many suits during the premiere anyways, and they destroyed a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. So listen, this is it. This is the other scene that we talked about. We alluded to this earlier because Cassiopeia was wrapped up in that pod thing. And this is where it gets a little gruesome. The leaves of the pod were gently wrapped around Cassiopeia's body. They felt soft and velvety. Ovions picked up the pod and carried her out of the chamber. She began to feel dizzy, and her body's becoming numb. She opened her mouth to scream, but no sound could be forced out. They arrive at the large cavern, lying around its floor, filling almost the entire surface were many pods, each with tubing leading to the machinery. And most of the pods contain, of course, human bodies. And there's the red and gray clumps of matter. And she says, if you squinted at them and filled in missing areas, were recognizable as human shapes. Recognizable human shapes, and they seem to be dissolving into component matter, dissolving. Cassiopeia's voice returned in a sudden, piercing scream.
Yay! And that's the end. You have to wait the next week to figure out the rest of it.
How about that?
Yeah. So, and this is where you get the scream and the. That's one of the better scenes. I like that one.
Oh yeah, this is good. There's a lot of action in all this. A lot of stuff going on in the actual show. And all right, Chris, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you hopefully for the next one. And Marcelo is watching. Marcelo, bienvenido. So next week we will have your interview. Thank you for watching and sending it. So we're going to put that out. Let all your friends know. Is it what we announced? It's going to be March 11th.
Yeah.
March 11th is Marcelo Arias from Chile is an interview that we put together with his help, and he's got some excellent CGI. So Marcelo, thank you for tuning in. We now have completed chapter 9, and we're going to be doing the last chapter. Is one chapter left. Next week, everybody, join us again. Come back. We're going to have a fantastic interview with a supremely talented CGI Battlestar Galactica fan. And he made a clip for us. And he, if you haven't seen his work before, we're going to premiere it. And it's wonderful. It's an honor to have him on board. It's a Battlestar Galactica fan from South America, from Chile. And, thank you for playing along and sending us the interview. So everybody, we invite you back next week. And we're going to have another great time. And we'll announce some other things that we're doing. We're going to have a news report, right, Chris? Yep. And, we're things are coming together. We're getting all our 10 centons with found colonies of fans. We're going to have, a bunch of stuff coming on and, guests and the like. So thanks, everybody. Don't forget to give us the likes. We need the likes. We have thousands I mean, literally, we have thousands of views on our videos, and we're honored and humbled. But we also need those likes. So don't forget to give the likes as well. You'll find us on Twitter. We're on YouTube, Interfleet Broadcasting. Of course, our main home is here on Facebook, Interfleet Broadcasting. And we look forward to the next show. George, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your support and help. And, you're part of the team as well. So thanks for that. And, everybody, Lola, everybody, Sean, John, all you guys, Janet, thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you again. Don't forget to send emails. You know where to reach us, right? Info at interfleetbroadcasting.com, right? So send us the emails. John one has his own email, and we broadcast that last show. We'll put that up, and we're gonna have that at the end. We're gonna add that as well. We're gonna add all the emails, but don't hesitate to reach out. And we have some other stuff in store for you. So, Chris.
Yes, thanks for joining. We will be, if you haven't caught any of these things we're going, we're in the process of moving our big studio. So you'll see a couple more. I did one live stream from my cell phone for the new studio. We'll do a live stream from here shortly in regards to how big a step up we're making from that. But we really appreciate y'all being here. Thanks for joining us. And it was a long one today, but I think it was worth it. I really do.
A good one.
I really like that we finished off the chapter. And you guys and gals, if you haven't got to catch the front of it, go back and watch the replay. And we'll see you next week. Same bat channel, same bat place. Here on Interfleet Broadcasting at 8 o'clock on Thursday. Please keep us in mind and watch the show, or watch the posts on the Facebook posts, and watch us on Twitter and Instagram too. I don't think Instagram is on the thing. But thanks a lot. Fans feel the fleet.
Stay safe.
Y'all take care. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And we will see you next week.